Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain our cooperative experience. Our cooperative experience means that we are worker-owner cooperatives. Probably that is the biggest differences between a lot of companies, a lot of cooperatives all over the world. We are 120 cooperatives, and as you can see, most of them are industrial cooperatives. We have also one credit union, one consumer cooperative that is a third biggest retail chain in Spain and in the south of France. 4 small agricultural cooperatives, all of them worker-owner cooperatives, and 8 educational school center. One of these is the Mondragon University, and 12 research and development center, together with 7 services cooperatives like engineering cooperative, consultancy cooperatives, and we are among 100,000 workers. 100,000 workers. You can see here 100,000 workers. In fact, we are 85,000 workers full-time, and another more or less another 15,000 workers working part-time. So 100,000 people. These 120 cooperatives, for example, we can. For example, we can see one of these, Fagor Domestic Appliances, Fagor. They are 3,000 workers, and is the biggest domestic appliances company in Spain. And we bought in 2005 the biggest domestic appliances company in France, that the name is Brandt, or Thomson, or the Dietrich, or as you want. And also is the owner of the company in Italy that they produce San Giorgio washing machine, dishwashers, refrigerators. But I have to tell you that, for example, this company, Brandt, is not a cooperative yet. We have a plan to give them the opportunity to be part of the projects and to participate in management, in profit, and in ownership, but until now there is not a cooperative. Another cooperative is Orona. It's in San Sebastian. They produce lift elevators. They are also 3,000 workers. This company is going very well not because they are producing more and more elevators. For example, before the economic crisis, they were producing 90 new elevators every day, per day. 90 new. But at this moment, because the construction crisis, they are only producing 40, 45 elevators per day. But they are having profits probably more than before. It's because the maintenance. They give the service, and giving the service, giving the maintenance, they have profits. It's not easy to produce elevators or goods or equipments in Europe or in the United States and being profitable, because, as you know, the salary cost is high, also electricity, the transportation, everything, and but it's easier with the in this case with the maintenance or with the service. Okay, this is one of the cooperatives. Another cooperatives produce Orbea. It's Orbea and produce bicycles. They produce 1,000 bicycles per day, and it's going very well. They have 300 workers, 300 members, in order to understand. And also here in Fagor, they are 3,000 workers and 3,000 members, and there is not another capitalist or another capital members into the cooperative. Another cooperative is Ulma Packaging. They produce a packaging system to pack, and they are 700 people. Ulma Agricole, they produce greenhouses, different kind of greenhouses, automatic, not automatic, 400 people. Fagor Ederland, they are 2,000 workers, and in this case, as you can see, they produce car components, in this case metal components, aluminium, and this one, 2,000 workers. This cooperative has also another company in Brazil and in Czechia. Why they are in Brazil? They went to Brazil also in 1991 because one of their clients, General Motors, when they set up a new, when they create a new factory in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, they obliged to all the suppliers, not only to us, to every suppliers all over the world to put very close to that plants in Sao Paulo, to put factories in order to provide from less than 100, they say 100 miles, so less than 150 kilometers. For that reason, we are in Brazil. At this moment, that company is not a cooperative. The style of management is the same in a cooperative in Mondragon, or bueno, in the Basque Country, and in Brazil. They can participate in, but in this case, they only participate in the 20% of the profits. So we share 20% of the profits. They can participate in the day-to-day management, not in the strategies, because the strategy makes Fagorrederland in the Basque Country. And also they can participate. They are not yet participating in the property. That is our aim, and we have started speaking with all the workers before the economic crisis. We started in 2006 speaking with the workers, with the managers, with the trade unions also, and giving them the possibility to participate every month in the meetings. And also we set up the General Assembly formed by all the workers that are in Brazil. But in this case, the General Assembly is only an informative General Assembly, because they are not members, and the most important decision are made it in Mondragon or in the Basque Country. And we started speaking with them. They agreed also to become a member, most of them, but with the economic crisis in 2008, we started with some problems, and in this case, this project to give them the participation in the being ownership is stopped, and I hope that in the next year or in the next 2 years it will be start, because, for example, this sector is going very well. In this case, they are having now profits. They suffered last year some problems. Last year in the first semester, but now it's going very well, and they are having profits also here and also now in Brazil, because last year they were losing money also only in Brazil they were losing money, but this year they are having profits. So, because one of the most important element to become a member or to become a cooperative is that that's a company, that's factory in Brazil or wherever, should be in a stable situation, having profits, in order to convince them that, because they have to put the initial capital as we put in our cooperative. So we have to convince them, but the most important thing to convince them is to be profitable and to put money, but on the other hand, to have returns or to have dividends. And so one of these important things is this one, to go in a good way. Another thing is to understand what does mean to work in a cooperative, and also the law should permit to become a cooperative. And so there are several things that is not easy to convert as a cooperative. But we are now trying in Spain, outside of the Basque Country. We are now converting some private companies in cooperatives that before were subsidiaries of Mondragon. Okay, well, for example, this is another cooperative. The name is for Mondragon Assembly. They are 200 workers, and they are producing assembly lines. For in this moment, most of the assembly lines are for produce solar panel, photovoltaic solar panels. So they produce the machines, and after that they sell to British Petroleum or to big companies to produce after that the solar panel. These another cooperatives, they buy the solar panels, and after that they put and make the maintenance of the company. 400 people producing cutting metals presses and cutting metal equipments. 400 people. Another 400 people in Fagor Electronic. Different kind of products. 1,000 people producing domestic appliances. For example, this company is going very well, not because its growth in the domestic appliances sector. No, as you know, in the domestic appliances sector, it's going not so well all over the world. All the biggest companies like Fagor or Electrolux, Bosch, Siemens, all of them are having some problems. But in this case, is because some of their competitors went down, because the economic crisis, financial crisis last year, a lot of companies, a lot of our competitors, not only in this sector, also in the automotive sector, a lot of private companies or conventional companies all over the world, and better than us probably, they had liquidity problems, cash problem. They couldn't get any money from banks, and some of them, they went down. In our case, we had this kind of problem, but we resolved because one of the most important characteristics of Mondragon is that we relocate people, and also we relocate or we pass money from one to the other cooperatives. So it's a real cooperation. It's not only good cooperation, some courses together or some travel together and good works. No, it's a real cooperation. We pass people from one to the other cooperatives. At this moment, for example, we have 320, more or less, 300 people relocated in another cooperatives. We had last year 700 people, but at this moment, luckily, 400 of them, they could come back to their own cooperatives because they have already started growing up. And so 300 people relocated in the other cooperatives. So that is very common in our group in the last 30 years. And also we put money in order to invest together, in order to help each other. Okay, Danovat, washing machine, 500 people, no, machine tools, sorry. They produce machine tools equipments, 400 people or 500. Kitchens, they are 1,500 people. They produce washing machine, industrial washing machine or industrial kitchen for hospitals, schools, hotels and restaurants, and this one. Danona, it's in travels. They produce furniture. They are 250 members. And at this moment, there are only working more or less 150 workers in their own cooperatives. But they have another 100 people relocated in the other cooperatives. And they are losing money in the last 4 or 5 years. Probably this year also they are going to lose. Well, I'm working in the last 30 years in the group, and I remember that always, 25 years ago and also 30 years ago, always they had some problems. They earned some year, 1 or 2 years, and another 2 or 3 years they were losing money. But because it's in a valley, that's the biggest company is this Danona, we have to support them and we have to maintain. But in this moment they are losing money, and probably they are going to lose also this money. Before to close, and the decision will be made by the General Assembly of these 250 people, not from Mondragon, because in Mondragon we can advise them, we can help them, or we cannot help them, but it should be the General Assembly of each cooperative who is going to make this big important decision. If they decide to close, we are going to do a plan in order to relocate these 150 members that are yet in the cooperatives, in order to relocate all of them, and after that close down without any big social problem. But in that valley, it will be probably a big problem if we close this company, because after that there are some small companies working with these big companies. Okay. Ursa, they produce is the construction. They produce different special construction. For example, here you can see the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. Probably you know. And also now they are building it will be a very huge or very big railway and bus and subway station in Ground Zero in New York. Yeah. Remember the Ground Zero where the Twin Towers went down, and now they are conquering the United States, producing that big railway station. Okay, so I put this one in order to show you, or to that it's possible to create different kind of companies, not only agricole cooperatives like in Slovenia, that there are some of them, but it's possible consultancy cooperatives, construction cooperatives, services cooperatives, different kind of cooperatives. And you can see here that we have credit union, one. It's different in this case comparing with the Italian system. Speaking about credit union, we have only one credit union in order to serve the society and in order to help the cooperatives, but only one. As you know, in Italy and in Brazil or in Colombia, in different places, there are a small credit union in each town, and sometimes in several towns or cities they are competing between them. But in our case, we have only one, and with only one general strategy. And after that, this credit union has 400 branches in the north of Spain, from Madrid to the north, so in the Basque Country and in Madrid, Zaragoza, Salamanca, Burgos, in that north part of Spain. And in this case, if we go to this, how can get okay, to the credit union. Also here in the credit union Caja Laboral there are worker members. So as you know, in most of the credit union all over the world, the workers are employees. Okay, but in our case, workers are part of the projects, and also the cooperatives. The cooperatives are the members, and the General Assembly of Caja Laboral is formed by 55% of the votes that came from the cooperatives and 45% votes from all the worker members of Caja Laboral. And in this case, in the governing council, there are 8 from cooperatives and 4 workers members. So 1/3 of the power in the governing council and 2/3 belongs to the cooperatives. Well, Caja Laboral, it's among the biggest banks it's an open bank, but it's a cooperative and it's one of the biggest in Spain. Okay, going also to Eroski. Yeah. Going also to Eroski. Sorry. In Eroski, there are also 2 kinds of members. In the consumer cooperative, 2 kinds of members. Consumer member, like me, and also workers are part of the projects. So for us, it's very important that workers has to participate in management, in profits, and being ownership, because they are going to be more integrated, happier, and probably it will be more profitable. And in this case, in the governing council are 50-50, 6 worker members and 6 consumer members. That is the brand. Okay, Eroski. It's among the 3rd biggest in Spain. The first one is Carrefour, a French company. Another one from Catalonia, Mercadona, the second one. And the 3rd one is Eroski. Okay, and also going to the schools, it's quite different. Where is it? Oh. I don't exist. Yeah, that's okay. We have the Mednarodna University, and this Mednarodna University has 3 faculties or 3 schools: engineering school, business and entrepreneurial school, and pedagogy and humanities school. And these 3 cooperatives, they set up the Mondragon University. That it's a private university, but it's a private and a cooperative university. And also after that we have a foreign language school center, 2 professional and technical school center, and another one that is from the kindergarten to community college also. Here there are 3 kinds of members. Could you please tell me which kind of member are, for example, going to the engineering faculty? 3 kinds of members. Who are the members? What do you think? Please. Professor, okay. Another. Students. Who more? Cooperatives. Okay, well. Worker members, professors, and also the staff. Not only the professors, so all the people. Also the dean is a worker. So professor and staff, worker members, user members that are the students. In the case of the kindergarten, parents are the members, and collaborator member. Who are the collaborator members? The cooperatives, but also conventional companies, because we are open to the society. Also the city hall, it will be possible, and individual members. For example, I am an individual member. And the balance between these 3 kind of members is very important. And in the governing council, you can see 4 worker members, 4 students, and 4 collaborator members. And it works. It's not so easy, but it works. Okay. And to finish, okay, well, why we have 12 research and development centers? It's because all these cooperatives we have divided in different groups. We have one, the financial group, that is the credit union, the insurance company that belongs to Mondragon, and also our own mutual, our own social welfare system that is complementary of the Spanish social welfare system. After that, we have the retail chain group, Eroski, and the agricultural cooperatives, and into the industrial groups we have different sectorial groups. And each sectorial group is formed by 12, 10, 8 different cooperatives that they set up as a second level cooperative. And in the bottom, at the bottom we have the training and research center. So we have 12 research and development center in order to help to each sectorial groups, because they are specialized in different sectorial groups, in order to help to these cooperatives. And after that, we have the congress that we set up once a year in order to make the most important decision and the general strategy. And well, only to compare, for example, which kind of companies are, speaking in sales, are 14,000 million euros. That is more or less all the GDP of Slovenia, more or less. It's the double, so we are half, more or less half of the Slovenian total GDP, more or less, in sales. Okay. And also the credits that Caja Laboral give to different companies or to individuals is more or less the half of the total GDP of Slovenia, more or less. According with the economic crisis, you can see here that speaking about net profits, before the economic crisis, we were having 400 million profits in net profit after paying taxes, 545, 600 million. In 2007, 792 million euros, but in 2008 we had only 71. So from 792 million, we passed to only positive 71 million euros. 2009 only 61 million, and last year 2010 we have already started growing and more or less 160 million euros. That is not a lot. It's 160 million euros. It's a lot, but it's not a lot comparing with all the sales that we are doing. And but now we are being much better than the years before. And to finish, okay, what is the mission? The mission is not to create, is not to earn money. We have to be profitable. That is very important. Always we are saying that, okay, we have to be in the balance, because most of our cooperatives, except the education school center, all of them are profit organizations. So we have to be profitable in order to create wealth within the society, in order to create jobs, because that is our most important aims. At this moment, that a lot of young people are unemployed, we have to create more and more jobs. So create wealth within society. That is our mission, and this mission is based in the solidarity commitment, using democratic methods, one people, one vote. The general manager has one vote, and me and a blue-collar worker has one vote, and the most important is MCC, Mondragon Cooperative Corporation, encourages the participation and integration of workers, of people in management, in profits, and in ownership. That is probably the most important differential comparing with our competitors. We are selling to we are exporting to 140 different countries. 140 different countries. And it's not easy to be competitive, but we think that this issue, that is participation of everybody in management, in profit and ownership, is the most important key to be profitable. For that reason, one of the most important challenges is to become cooperatives, all the companies that we have abroad. Okay, and to finish with this one, in order to understand what is Mondragon, imagine a table, and on the table there are the 120 cooperatives with a very close intercooperation, putting money together and also passing people from one to the other cooperatives. And these 120 cooperatives are supported, or this table is supported by these 4 important pillars. The educational pillars, that is, in my opinion, it's the first one, but it's the most important. We started from one school, and now we are different kind of cooperatives. Second, or very important pillar also, is the financial support. For that reason, we created Caja Laboral in 1959. I didn't tell you that the first cooperative was created 55 years ago, in 1956. Fagor Domestic Appliances. And the third pillar, a very important pillar, is the social welfare system and health system. We have created our own complementary system in order to provide better conditions than the Spanish social security. And the last pillar, very important also, in order to assure the future and not depend from the American or German or Slovenian technology, we have to create our own research and development center. For that reason, we are creating more and more research and development centers. So, as you can see, Mondragon is an integral system that provides better possibilities to be profitable and to be alive in this economic crisis and to be alive in this 21st century. And we think that cooperative system, it will be the future, because as you know, most of the modern conventional companies is coming to this idea that giving bonus or different part of participation to workers. So we think that that is the future, and for that reason we believe in it, and I hope that we can see you, or we are going to see you again in another or in a very good important cooperative in Slovenia. Okay, thank you.